Well, good morning, internets. Here we are. It's been quite a few days since I vlogged. It's been quite the roller coaster ride, quite the struggle, but I am still here to film this here vlog. And yeah, welcome to our vlog. So, here we go. Well, over the last few weeks, it's been a little bit of a struggle. I'm not quite sure if this is the continuation of what is going on, if this is the next stage or step of what my new life is going to become, or if I am still recovering from the road trip. I know 6,000 kilometers in 20 days is quite a lot quite ambitious for me to have done. And I knew there would be some consequences, some things I'd have to pay for in the following days coming back. However, it's been a while. I took the road trip because I felt that at that time in my life that I needed to do it, because you never know what next year holds. The way things are turning out, there may not be the opportunity next year to do a road trip like that, especially alone. I may need to have somebody to come with me next year. But I enjoyed this year. It was quite the memorable experience. Well, I've been trying to do a few things over the last little while. It's been a bit of a struggle, but I guess, it is what it is. Getting a few bags of groceries here and there, trying to keep things afloat on that end of things. Apparently not eating is not a good thing, so you still have to buy food, still have to get groceries, and you go into the grocery store and buy $100 in groceries and carry it out in one bag, basically. And it's like, wow, you'll blow your whole month's grocery budget, projected grocery budget, in one little bag. And if you're lucky, you might be able to get 2 weeks out of it. It's just the way it is, right? Well, I've been trying to do a few things. Still need to get out and clean up that trailer. There is no pressure on it. I guess it's not really going to be used for the rest of the season unless I go out there and use it myself, which I'm not sure if that's going to happen, because, well, like I said, it's been a bit of a rough stretch. That's putting it mildly, by far. Well, one of my biggest victories is I saved up a little bit of money, and I was able to buy myself a new bed. It's a good, comfortable mattress and box spring, and hopefully this will allow me to sleep a little better. Well, over the last month or so, I've been trying to build myself a very, very sturdy bed frame. Something that is stout, something that will not collapse, something that will last. Unlike some of the metal ones that are out there that seem to be made out of cheaper steel that, break after just a few months, and if you're not watching, you end up snapping the box spring in half, and then there goes your brand new bed that you bought less than a year ago. So this time around, I was able to build a stout platform. I'll throw some photos here. The first day I went out and got the wood, and it was quite the interesting experience. I had to explain to the kid how to cut it what side of the line to cut it on, taking in the thickness of the blade. And still, some of the cuts he made were a little off. I'm not quite sure, but it probably took about an hour just for him to do the cutting, and there was probably only about maybe 10 cuts altogether, and they weren't like they were hard cuts to make. They were just straight, straight to the point cuts, and it's a little hard to rely on someone else to make your cuts when you're used to be able to make them yourself. I had the saw to cut, I had the tools to make, and I'm learning to live without those things, and it's been quite the experience. So that first day I was able to get the wood cut and then go out and do some running around. Post office box, fuel up the vehicle, grocery store. Then the second day I was feeling pretty rough because of all the running around I did and such, and it took me a little bit to recover from all that. Well, the third day was a build day. I started to put the bed together, and I'll throw some photos here of the bed. There's no video of it being put together because, well, it was quite the undertaking for me to do right now. I'm not as steady as I once was, and I'm not as good with my hands as I once was, and it was a bit of a struggle. I almost need myself an assistant to help with certain things now, and where before I used to be able to do them myself without question, and it's really makes a person think, But I was able to get the frame made and laid down on the floor, and then took a little bit of struggling to get the box spring over and laid down on top of it, and then the mattress over and laid down on top of it, and then well, it was good to go. It's kind of a wet day out there today. Don't really know how far I'm going to venture. I should probably try to leave the apartment because, well, with the exception of the hour out to get the wood cut and a couple of grocery runs, I really haven't gone too far in the last little while. I am finding that crowds and noise and sunlight and all that seem to work against me. It's almost like a storm of sensory overload, and I'm not sure if it's just because of the isolation that I've had in my life here, or if it's the anxiety and the weirdness that I feel is caused by, well, what's going on with me, right? And I find myself, if I do go out, it's like very, very, very early in the morning, like 7 o'clock in the morning. Or if I do go out for a drive, it's after dark, like at 2 o'clock in the morning, when chances of seeing another person is very slim. It's just better that way, right? But gonna head out, maybe see what I can get done, and see where the day goes from here, and we'll catch y'all later. Well, hello internets, here we are. Well, we come to the end of another day. Well, I went out, did some running around, picked up a new leash for the dog. I don't know if I mentioned this earlier, but the other one was bought in like 2014 and had been through a lot and did very, very well. And it broke the inner mechanism that recoils. Finally broke, which was kind of surprising. I guess everything has a lifespan, life expectancy, and it gets dirt or moisture maybe, or dropped a few times, which it had been, and it eventually probably does break, and it is, it kind of is what it is. So went out there, stopped by the dollar store while I was out. The town was okay. A little bit on the busy side for my liking, but it is what it is. I find that stress plays a big factor, whether it's emotional stress or like physical stress, or not getting enough sleep causes stress, or getting phone calls from certain agencies and people that cause more stress, and then you end up, stressing about the stress, and it kind of messes things up. I find that the more people that I allow to be part of my life, or to allow to have their say in my life, the worse it seems to get. Back when I used to live my rules, my way kind of a thing, it was a lot better. And now I got agencies and people telling me what to do, telling me where to be, telling me where they think I should go. It doesn't work out well, and some of it has to do with, them trying to make me fit their mold into their system, them trying to make me into a ward of the system so they can build a government for more money, and because they've got a new inmate for the month kind of a thing, and that's not the way I want to live my life. I want to live my life free, regardless of whether I have 20 years left or 2 years left. I want to live the way I want to live, and if it means giving up a few more things and going off the grid, or going away from this town, or away from people in general, then that might be the way it has to go, right? And because I need to still have my own quality of life, not to live under their thumb, under their rule, or under their say for the rest of my life. But one day at a time, one step at a time. Don't stress about things. Kind of live the way it needs to be, and whatever happens will be the way it is. But remember, we do have a social media pages. The links are down below, as well as fan mail box for all your fan mail needs. The address is down there as well. If you take the time to write me, I will write you back. Make sure you include a valid postal code or zip code so I can write you on back. Without that code, the letter doesn't seem to go anywhere. And as always, thanks for watching Maxwell's Vlogs. Comment, subscribe, and enjoy.